Hi, and welcome to Cat Run Figures. I'm your host, Caitlin, and today we are going to be reviewing The Realm, Issue 1. So this is a brand new series from Image Comics, and this is a new dystopian sort of mythological, supernatural, amazing post-apocalyptic story. I don't know. I'm really excited about it. Originally, going into it, I wasn't sure if I was going to be picking up this title, but it was literally selling out everywhere online, and everyone was talking about how exciting it was going to be, and I was like, I'll give it a shot. So I picked up both the main cover A and cover B, which has the villain on it, or at least he seems to be a villain. I'm not sure yet, but cover A has our main hero on it, so this is Will. So jumping right on into the story, we see a man who is later we find out this is Will and a woman named Sasha. So they are traveling through the ruins of a city, and they're concerned about being seen by something. And that's when Will makes her duck undercover, and we get to hear a screech and a very large shadow of a figure fly overhead of them. So, continuing on, they are going into the ruins of what seems to have been probably a Costco. But we get to meet the king. So, the king actually employed Will to go collect Sasha. Apparently, she had been kidnapped, and he was given a bunch of intel from the king about where and how to go about getting her back. So, as we get farther into it, we actually find out that not only is Sasha not actually the king's daughter, but the king actually traded her for a shipment of antibiotics because, you know, sex sells. And in a post-apocalyptic world, there are two things that are apparently very important. You know, getting some and staying healthy. So when the antibiotics ended up being expired, he could not allow himself to be cheated, so he sent Will Nolan in order to go collect Sasha. So there's a dispute over whether or not Will deserves more compensation because he did have to deal with a number of different drakes, which, if you know what a drake is, it's a dragon. Yes, there are dragons in this. I'm super excited about that alone. But ultimately, during the fight, Sasha kills the king. And, you know, he was a dick. It's not really much of a loss there. And Will tells her that she's gonna... He tells her good luck. She's gonna need it. And she says that they're square now. And if he comes through again, he'll have to pay the toll, like everyone else. And Will takes that back. She's gonna be just fine. So, continuing on, we get to see the ruins of what I believe to be Chicago, based on that sign. But just some beautiful, beautiful art here. I'm really about it. It's kind of amazing on how desolate the street is, and all the various things you see in the sky, and all the ruins that are left. So, Will meets back up with his friends and associate back at their hideout, and they're discussing what happened to the job, and the fact that it didn't exactly go as planned because, you know, the guy that hired him's dead. And his buddy's telling him, hey, if you keep killing all our customers, you're gonna kind of kill our business, because it's hard to have repeat customers if you kill all our customers. So ultimately, Will fills him in on exactly how screwed up this job was, and he apologizes. He thought it was a straightforward one, but no fear, he's got another one for him, all lined up and ready to go. So we enter into what looks to be their warehouse, and they're collecting a number of provisions, and Will himself actually brought some toothbrushes back. So it's kind of awesome that they have a little bit of a stockpile going on there. I mean, you're gonna need it during the end of the world. Something. Dental hygiene is very important, guys. So continuing on, we get to see another group of individuals during this apocalypse, and this is definitely giving me a Lord of the Rings / Walking Dead vibe. I mean especially like these few panels with Molly. This individual's name is Molly, if you don't already know. We already said. But they're fighting orcs, and she's yelling at the men with her to save their ammunition and to only go for kill shots if at all possible. So she's using a bow and kind of being a badass about it. And of course she takes down the biggest one there. So we find out that she is with 3 guys, and 2 of them are scientists and only 1 other fighter with her. So continuing on, we see the same ominous figure we've seen throughout the comic, and it's this large, weird orbiting thing in the sky. I don't really know how to explain it. It really reminds me of the Eye of Saruman. So, you know, Lord of the Rings right there. And there's a dark caster or priest, or I don't know what exactly he's supposed to be, but he is making a blood sacrifice to this dark being, and he's telling this being that he worships him completely and devoutly, and he's going to do anything within his power to help the being's cause. And the being's telling him that he's not deserving of a place at his table and of the powers that he could grant him. Not yet, but he can prove himself worthy. So he takes in this dark energy or essence into his lungs, and his eyes just turn slate black. So continuing on into the story, we get to see Will meeting Molly and her crew, and we find out that Molly and her team want to cross into Missouri. And the thing about it is, while there's her and her associate, she has 2 scientists with her, neither of which is necessarily that helpful in a sticky situation. So she hired Will in order to help them out. So Will, always being at the ready, states that he would like to meet the rest of her team before accepting this job, and he wants time to scope out and plan out their trip. So continuing on, we get to see Rook, and Rook is probably my favorite out of the designed characters. He looks kind of amazing. I think he's definitely a call to DC Comics Talon, especially with the owl mask that he's wearing right here. But he's silent. He was there for backup if Will should need him. And hell, if you don't think this is a callback to DC Comics, he literally says, "Thanks for the backup, Batman." But he sends Rook in order to go and follow them back to their compound and make sure that they're not hiding anything from Will. So continuing on, we get to see this kind of strangeness going on. I don't really know if these are monsters or I don't know what they're supposed to be in this, but they kind of look like orcs to me. They're crazy guys running around with tusks sticking out and pointy ears, so you know, whatever. Anyway, they're getting hunted by this individual who is wearing a ram skull as a helmet. And yeah, he's got a crazy gun knife combination that he literally just chucks at one of the guys in order to impale him through the chest. So that's kind of awesome. He has him stabbed through the chest with it, and then he pulls the trigger and shoots him. And the really messed up thing about this guy is he leans down in order to cut the tusks off of this individual, and the entire time he's singing a song to himself. And he just walks off with the tusks, happy as can be. Well, right on through to the end of the comic, we get to find out that there's a little bit more about Will that we don't know yet. So Will has removed his shirt, he's in his home base, and we notice there's something odd about his arm. It's dark and just not quite right for him. So he suffers some sort of an attack of some sort. The best way I can describe what happens to Will is it looks almost like a werewolf transformation, but not. He kind of looks like a demon, like he's turning into a demon right there. So that's kind of cool. You don't really know exactly what it is about him or why this is happening to him. It looks very painful. But that is Realm issue 1. So it's all over the place. There's a lot going on. It's very encompassing. I'm excited to see dragons. I am a huge fan of the Lord of the Rings. I'm not the biggest post-apocalyptic zombie type fan, so I'm all for the fact that this is a apocalyptic world where it's more mythological creatures like orcs and dragons and magical spellcasters, and who knows what else could possibly come out of this world. I'm really excited about it. I love the art throughout. I mean, there's a lot of influence from a lot of different things. It reminds me of Reborn. It reminds me of, I mean, Mark's a much bigger zombie fan, but it does have the same feel as like The Walking Dead in some parts of it, and it's just written so well. It's definitely something that I wasn't expecting to suck me in as much as it did, but I'm definitely going to be adding it on my pull box, and I am really excited to see what issue 2 holds for us. So give me a like if you like this video, comment below and tell me whether or not you picked up The Realm and if you enjoyed it as much as I did. Subscribe to my channel for more comic book content, or check out any of the older videos I have up for offer here on Cat Run Figures. And until next time, I'm your host, Caitlin. Bye.